Friends, today's lecture is on social values, social control and attitudes, types and their role in agricultural extension. Introduction. Many rural societies look upon new methods with indifference and sometimes with suspicion. Respect for elders often results in the attitude that the old ways are best. Farmers not only fear the unknown and untried, but they also fear criticism for doing something different from other farmers. In such situations, the motives of extension agents and others seeking to promote change can often be misunderstood. Village people may think that the extension agent is introducing changes to benefit himself. Such attitudes explain the behavior of farmers who seem to agree that a new method is good but are not prepared to put it into practice. But it should be remembered that the function of extension is to bring about desirable changes in the behavior of people and, in the case of agriculture, desirable changes for the farmers. Therefore, understanding the prevalent social values, forms of social control, and attitudes of the farmers on the part of the extension agents are important. Social values. Members of all societies believe that their way of life is best. These new methods of farming may be all right for some people, but they are not good for us. This attitude results in reluctance to try something new. How can it be better than our way? And we know what is best for us. Our reactions that extension agents may meet in opposition to suggestions for change. Farmers may be too proud to practice ways of farming that could result in other farmers looking down on them. For example, they might be too proud to carry cattle manure to the fields. Many young people look down on farming, even though some successful farmers earn more than most government employees and school teachers. Extension agents often emphasize the improved yield or cash return that can be gained by adopting new farm practices. However, farmers may value taste, appearance, or some other factor more than the level of output. They may also value their leisure time so highly that they are not prepared to work longer hours on their farms. Certain improved varieties of maize have been rejected by small-scale farmers in several countries because of their poor flavor, even though they have shown a much better yield than local maize. Farmers and their families have to eat what they produce as well as sell some of it. So, taste and cooking quality are very important. The above paragraphs illustrate the significance of belief in one's own culture, pride and dignity, and finally about relative values. Altogether, these constitute what can be defined as social values. Thus, social value constitute what is right and important in society. Those feelings which constitute assumption of what is right and important are abstract and often unconscious. The sharing of feeling or attitudes is of vital importance to the operation and functioning of society. Attitudes held by society that define what society considers correct and of relative importance are referred to as social values. Social values form an important part of the culture of the society. Values account for stability of social order. They provide the general guidelines for social conduct. Values such as fundamental rights, patriotism, respect for human dignity, rationality, sacrifice, individuality, equality, democracy, etc. guide our behavior in many ways. Values are the criteria people use in assessing their daily lives, arrange their priorities, and choosing between alternative course of action. G.R. Leslie, R.F. Larson, H.L. Gorman say, values are group conceptions of the relative desirability of things. According to H.M. Johnson, values are general standards and may be regarded as higher order norms. Social value has been variously used to refer to some or all of the following: community identity, attachment to place, symbolic value, spiritual associations, social capital, recreation, and education. In addition to social values, overlapping concepts include social asset, communal value, community value, and social significance. All are used to invoke aspects of what is described here as social value. It also includes the subjective aspects of the citizens' well-being, such as their ability to participate in making decisions that affect them. Types of values. Value may be classified in different ways. J.R. Frankl classified values in the following types. To use that position to affect and influence others. Traditional, a passion to seek out and pursue the highest meaning in life, in the divine or the ideal, and achieve a system for living. Sprenger does not imply that a given man belongs exclusively to one or another of these types of values. His depictions are entirely in terms of ideal types, a conception fully explained in his book, Types of Men. Social control. Social control is the term sociologists apply to those mechanisms by which any society maintain a normative social system. It refers to all the ways and means by which society enforces conformity to its norms. Sanctions, the rewards or punishment are applied to control the behavior of the individual and to bring the non-conformists into line. All these efforts by the group are called social control, which is concerned with the failures in socialization. Social control, as Lapierre puts it, is thus a corrective for inadequate socialization. In fact, social control may be defined as any influence which a society exerts upon its members for the purpose of providing the welfare of the group. It is the way in which our social order coheres and maintains itself. It is that mechanism by which a community or group operates as a whole and maintains a changing equilibrium. The aim of social order, Talcott Parsons has said, nipping deviant tendencies in the bud. If that be not done, social order would cease to exist. The law of the brute would prevail. Types or forms of social control. Different social thinkers have categorized social control in different ways. Karl Mannheim categorized social control into two, such as direct social control and indirect social control. Direct social control is the type of social control which directly regulates and controls the behavior of the individual. On the other hand, indirect social control refers to the type of social control in which distant factors has control over the behavior of the individual. Such a type of control is exercised by secondary groups through customs, traditions, rationalized behavior, etc., and public opinions are important forms of indirect social control. According to Gurbich, social control is of the following four types. A. Organized social control. In this type of social control, the behavior of the individual is regulated either through voluntary means or through democratic ways. This is done through natural ways of social control. B. Unorganized social control. This social control is exercised by values of culture and usages, tradition, fashion, symbol, etc. This is an elastic type of social control and is related to day-to-day life. C. Spontaneous social control. This type of social control is exercised by ideas, rules and regulations, values, norms, etc. D. More spontaneous social control. Social control that is exercised by direct social and group experience such as aspirations, decisions, desires, etc. is called more spontaneous social control. However, generally, social control is classified under the following two forms, such as formal social control and informal social control. Formal social control. This type of social control is exercised by known and deliberate agencies of social control such as law, punishment, army, constitution, etc. Man is forced to accept these forms of social control. Generally, these forms are exercised by secondary groups. Informal social control. These agencies of social control have grown according to the needs of the society. Folkways, mores, customs, social norms, etc. fall under this category of social control. Generally, primary institutions exercise this type of social control. Attitude. Attitude is feeling of like, dislike, attraction, repulsion, interest or apathy towards other persons, objects, situations or ideas. Attitudes are essentially acquired and learned. Learning or acquisition of attitudes may be conscious or unconscious. Attitudes involve some knowledge of a situation. However, the essential aspect of attitude is found in the fact that some characteristic feeling or emotion is experienced and, as we would accordingly expect, some definite tendency to action is associated. Subjectively, then, the important factor is the feeling or emotion. Objectively, it is the response or at least the tendency to respond. Attitudes are important determinants of behavior. If we are to change, then we must change the emotional components. All part has defined attitude as a mental and neutral state of readiness organized through experience, exerting a directive or dynamic influence upon the individual's response to all objects with which it is related. The social environment is one of the most important factors influencing the development of attitudes. The home environment is of primary importance in the formation of early attitudes, but friends, associates, and the general social environment come to have an increasing influence as a child grows older, has wider social contexts, etc. Well-established attitudes tend to be resistant to change, but others may be more amenable to change. Attitudes can be changed by a variety of ways. Some of the ways of attitude change are as follows. Number one, by obtaining new information from other people and the mass media, resulting in a change in cognitive component of a person's attitudes. Number two, attitudes may change through direct experience. Number three, attitudes may change through legislation. Number four, since person's attitudes are anchored in his membership group and reference groups, one way to change the attitude is to modify one or the other. Number five, attitude change differs with a reference to the situation also. Role of values, social control, and attitudes in agricultural extension. Social values and attitudes both resist and accelerate change. At the same time, social control also acts as the functional mechanism to resist change or to adapt to changes accepted by the community. Understanding of social values, social control, and attitudes will allow extension workers to analyze and assess rural situations with greater effectiveness and accuracy and make for more successful promotion of change among the people. Human behavior is said to result from attitudes that people have about ideas, objects, situations, or other people. Individuals live within the context of a society, certain values, and shared with other members of the society, and these common social values of the society also fashion and govern behavior. A person acts in conformity with the rules and regulation or norms of society which are based on social values. Conclusion. Understanding the peculiar ways of life, value system, social control mechanism, and attitudes are important to bring about changes in the life of the farmers. Values and attitudes in society make it easy or difficult for people to adopt new practices, for example, or society holding attitudes and values which are strongly negative to choose piggery as a profession will present serious obstacle in the planned development of rural society. So, in the part of desired change, the important role of social values of particular group, community and society cannot be ignored. But people are always reluctant to indicate their attitudes and social values. Hence, extension workers should understand and appreciate the vital role played by values and attitudes in behavior of both rural and urban people.